I'm Jennifer Cutting, Folk Life Specialist at the American Folk Life Center. It's September 20th, 2018, and we are here a few hours before our big concert tonight, which is the American Folk Life Center's Homegrown Series Special Archive Challenge Sampler Concert. It's happening tonight at 7:30 in the Coolidge Auditorium, and one of the artists we have with us is Elena and Los Fulanos. Elena Lacayo is with us here in the studio for just a short little interview. How are you doing, Elena?
I'm great. It's a good
Your
day.
sound check sounded great.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing you guys. I guess the first question I want to ask you, you're the only Spanish language performers we have in tonight's lineup. Where did you grow up and when did you start singing and playing?
So I was born in the U.S. I was born in New Orleans, but my parents had just gotten here. It was the 80s, and Nicaragua was going through a civil war, which is where my parents are from. And in 92, when the war ended kind of in 90, most of the conflict, and in 92 we moved back. So I was about 8 years old, and we moved back to Nicaragua, and I lived there from 8 to 18.
Where in Nicaragua?
In Managua. My family is from León mostly, but we spent the time in Managua. And I've always kind of played music. I've kind of dabbled in it. I don't have any official training really. I took a weird path to music in the sense that I never really liked lessons. I felt like they ruined music for me, for better or for worse. And so I never was trained formally. I just kind of like learned on the side, kind of in secret actually, because I didn't want people to know that I played and then have me play for them.
Did you have anyone who kind of showed you a few chords?
Yeah. My dad showed me some mariachi stuff, taught me how to play like Happy Birthday, and then he wanted me to learn all this mariachi stuff, which I wasn't interested in at the time. And then I had, my friends from high school and middle school that were playing like Nirvana and stuff, so that was my start, and then I started writing music probably at the end of high school with a friend, but I had very few songs until I was maybe 22. I had already graduated college, and then I started writing more songs in DC actually when I had moved here, and then I just I kept playing and people kept supporting it. So then I formed my band, and we've been together for about 6 years now.
Is it a staple lineup? Has it been the same lineup for all 6 years?
Well, it's DC, so no.
It's DC, right.
Well, at first I started playing actually with some of my buddies who were in the punk scene here. So that's kind of more where that was kind of the scene that I knew. There's not a ton of, there's a small but growing scene of Latino musicians that make their own music. There's plenty of musicians that kind of reinterpret other people's music and in traditional styles. But in terms of writing original music, I think we might be, among just a few bands. And so, but Danny, who's playing with us tonight, Danny Herrera, he's an original member. He started playing with me a long time ago, 2011. And he grew up in LA and in Pacoima, California, which is where Richie Valens was from. And he grew up and totally immersed in mariachi and son jarocho culture. And so actually we're going to have the opportunity to showcase some of his talents in that, which we haven't been able to do as a band before. So he's going to do a zapatiel today with the tarima, which is a wooden stage where people kind of stomp, and it's a percussive instrument in son jarocho. And actually, funny enough, he's going to be doing a rhythm that men don't typically do, because the rhythm that we're doing is more a café con pan. There's kind of different words that are associated with the rhythmic styles in son jarocho, and that's typically a women's dance. And so he's been trying to learn it in time for it, and we were like, that's cool. We're breaking gender stereotypes. It's fine. So,
and you're known for social justice, music on social justice themes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things that we do. When I first moved to DC, I came to work on social justice issues. First, I worked for the nuns that are now known as Nuns on the Bus network, and then I fell into working on immigration and immigration reform, and I did that for a number of years until I stopped to pursue music. So.
And you play a lot of benefits.
Yeah, we play a lot of benefits, and a lot of our songs are, social justice themed. So, we wrote a song about immigration, and we have kind of like a movement song for recent political events and stuff like that. And I've been very involved in, and this is actually one of the songs that we're playing tonight. Is a bilingual version of This Land Is Your Land. And part of the reason that we selected it is because I've actually been playing it a lot when I go. I often get asked to play at rallies or different actions here in DC. The biggest ones that I played were against the Muslim ban, the so-called Muslim ban, when that was going on. And one of the songs that I found to be really resonate with all of the audience is This Land Is Your Land, which is fundamentally a social justice song. When it was originally written, Woody Guthrie wrote it because he was a migrant himself internally. He was originally from Oklahoma, moved to California, and apparently faced a lot of discrimination for that. And so he wrote this song to show that this country is actually a welcoming place. And so I think that it's really, the reason it resonates is because that sentiment is felt again and again, unfortunately, but also the sentiment that we want to push back on kind of like xenophobia or, unwelcoming sentiments. And so it was one of the songs that when we were doing all those actions, I thought people most resonated with. And so I really love so I'm doing kind of a combination Sones de Mexico version, which is a group that I actually saw. I actually saw them for that concert.
That concert. They were here. Yeah. Sones de Mexico Ensemble played here for Hispanic American Heritage Month in September of 2015. Yeah. And during their concert, they did Esta Tierra es Tuya.
Yep.
And also this song appears in a much earlier form in our collections as a manuscript.
Really? In
a little mimeographed bunch of papers, which is called Woody Guthrie's 10 Songs. And it's in the Woody Guthrie manuscript portion of the Alan Lomax collection.
Cool.
So you're actually doing a song that appears probably more times in our collection than that, but we have it in manuscript, and then we have the recording of Sones de Mexico doing it. So it's kind of a double whammy.
Yeah, that's why I love the song. I mean, it just resonates. Everybody knows it. Everybody feels good about it. But a lot of people don't know about the kind of the justice background that the song has. I don't remember exactly how it goes in English, but the general translation of I know it more in Spanish, but there's one verse that says, when I came upon a big wall, there was a sign there that said no trespassing, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. And Sones de Mexico does it, and they kind of make it about the border, which is what I really
restore
like.
That verse.
Right, they bring it back, and we're going to do that verse today as well.
So one of the songs that you chose from our collections, you kind of already knew, and that made that in a way easier to put the work in on some other songs that you didn't already know. So the two other songs that you chose, one was, I remember looking at the catalog card as you were listening to it, El Presidente Wilson me puso una ordenanza.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, well, I kind of like this one. What about that song sparkled at you?
I just thought, what is this about? This is a song to an American president in Spanish. I thought that was, it had to have an interesting story. And as you indicated, it's a really old archive. It's from 1934. And it's basically about the Tejano experience of going through and getting recruited to be in the draft, and a lot of people deciding that going to Mexico is a better idea than going into the draft. And so
this recording is from John and Alan Lomax recording in Cotulla, Texas.
Oh, is that
in
where it is?
1934.
I was trying to look up the place and I couldn't figure it out. Cotulla.
And it was the man who sang it in our field recording was Jose Vallo, and he played the guitar.
Yeah.
Now, what did you do with it?
Well, the guitar part is kind of a cumbia rhythm, and so we're like, let's just dress this up and make this a full cumbia. And so the bass did the boom, 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 and we put in a key where I could sing it as
of
well.
Course.
And we put some fiddle licks in it, and we just kind of built the song, and it was actually really fun to do. So it was a really cool experience for us, but we still stayed true to like the all the words that I mostly understood all the words. There were a couple that I was like, well, I'll just put this word in here because it makes sense.
But that's the same thing that happens if you hear a song that someone sings and you don't understand the words.
Right.
So
and that's how songs evolve, of course.
Right.
So it was really cool to bring a song from 1934 back.
Yeah.
And you were saying that you probably not a lot of people had heard it, right?
No, in fact, nobody has translated it before you did, and you've made a translation for us that's now going into our files.
Ooh.
So see, you're going to live in the archive forever.
Fancy.
Not only with your performance tonight, but with your translation of El Presidente Wilson me puso una ordenanza, which means...
President Wilson, I guess he drafted me. He put an order out for, he sent me an order, yeah.
Okay.
He's drafting me.
And then the next song that you had chosen to do, Senzontle.
Yeah, Senzontle.
That was in our collections as a performance also from the Homegrown Concert Series performed by Los Angeles Chicano band Quetzal. And they also were here for Hispanic American Heritage Month, but they were here in 2011. And so tell me what about that song attracted you and then what you did with it.
Yeah, well, that song is really cool. I mean, Quetzal is a group that I have actually been interested in for a long time, but I've actually not put any effort or time into listening. I've always, when you have their list of groups that you want to listen to, and they definitely were up there. And I definitely, when I started, I decided kind of that I wanted to do a song from Quetzal, partly because they had the same kind of instrumental lineup, and also because, like, thematically, they do a lot of similar things than what our band is. They're very justice-oriented, and they're based in son jarocho, which is a rhythmic pattern that I'm not that familiar with, but I was like, I'm willing to grow in this way. And so Danny, being the person that knew the most about the style of music, taught me the strumming pattern, and which I'm doing my best to do on guitar. And we basically are going to do it similar to how they're doing it in the recordings, which it's a complicated song. It's not the easiest song in the world to learn, but I was really excited about the challenge, and the band was as well.
Is that one that you did during sound check?
Yeah, that's the first one we did during sound check.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and then so Danny, as I mentioned, Danny is going to be doing dancing on the tarima for that part, and that's going to be a really exciting portion of that. So we're all kind of pushing ourselves in a way. This has been a really great project for our band because we don't tend to do a lot of covers. We don't tend to interpret a lot of people's music. That's more, Danny is definitely, he has another project where that's the majority of what he does. I'm more of a songwriter that tries to interpret my own stuff, and so having the challenge of, like, not only kind of academically going into archives and finding stuff, but also interpreting things that I didn't write has been really interesting and a cool way to grow as an artist. So.
Well, that's why it's called a challenge.
Yeah.
And you've stepped up to the plate. You've stepped up to the plate. I'm really looking forward to hearing the full versions of all of these songs. I want to thank Elena Lacayo for being with us at the Library of Congress tonight.
Thank you.
For the Archive Challenge Sampler Concert.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.